So I meditated for 135 days in a row, and I want to tell you why I stopped. So before the comment section goes crazy and everyone gets their panties in a bunch, I want to tell you that I still love meditating, and I actually ended up recently picking up the practice again. So if you stay to the end, you'll find out why that ended up happening. But before we get there, we got to talk about where this all started, why I even decided to embark on this journey of meditating. At the beginning, my target was to do 100 days in a row. And I actually have never done something for that long for myself. This is the longest thing that I've ever done for myself in this sort of realm of, I guess, well-being or taking care of yourself. So I started meditating because I was having a lot of issues with stress. A couple years ago, I went through a very stressful time, and I was having a lot of issues with anxiety, with panic attacks, digestive issues, a bunch of weird sort of health stuff. And meditation was such a great tool for me to hold on to during that tough time. And it served me in such an amazing way. It was helping me navigate this really foreign period of my life where I didn't know really what to do or how to handle things. Luckily, I had a mentor, a health mentor at the time named Mark Dama. Shout out to Mark, who I've done a video with on this channel, and he introduced me to meditation. And I started to meditate for about 20 minutes at a time. Something that I realized is that I would go for about 30 days and then I would fall off, and I would try again and again and again, and I would be consistent, but then I would fall off. I would be consistent, then I would fall off. And like, I just wanted to nail it, and I really wanted to go deeper into my practice. And I knew that if I could do it for 100 days, if I could just meditate 20 minutes a day for 100 days, then that would like really lock in the habit, and I'd have that habit for life. So what I did is I committed to that. I'm just gonna do 20 minutes. If I do more, then great, but 20 minutes is my target, and if I hit that, then I'll be happy with myself, and that's the benchmark for success. I was working with another guy at the time who was helping me navigate this tough time as well, and he planted a seed in my mind that really started to grow later on down the line, which was, if you never got to the root of the issue, then you could meditate all you want, but the stress is never gonna go away. And I didn't really fully understand that or know what the root was at the time, but that thought had been put into my mind, it had been inceptioned into my brain, and it was just sitting in the back of my consciousness as I was going about this process of trying to reduce my stress and using meditation as a tool to do that. Funny enough, as I started to get more disciplined and more diligent with my practice, my symptoms started to reduce. I started feeling happier. I started having less digestive issues. My anxiety started to go away, and all the things were sort of getting better. I felt like I was becoming less reactive, and I was becoming a better person. I was truly starting to learn and get to know myself a bit more. So for those of you who are curious, the type of meditation that I was doing was a mindfulness meditation. Basically, in through my nose, 1, out through my mouth, 2, and I would just count my breath and try to get to the highest number that I could. Anytime a thought came in, I would just do my very best to come back to my breath, and I would start over at the beginning. So nothing crazy, nothing dogmatic, just a simple mindfulness breathing practice. And that is what allowed me to start reducing everything and really helping deal with this stress that was going on in my life, or how I was experiencing it. So if the meditation was quote unquote working, why would I stop? Well, that idea that my mentor planted into my consciousness started to blossom. And what I realized is that there was something that was not resolved, and I couldn't shake this feeling that I was using meditation as a crutch. I was using it to mask the actual issue. It was addressing the symptoms because the stress was getting reduced and the symptoms were getting reduced, but I didn't know why I was actually stressed. There was things that were outside myself and inside myself that I hadn't taken care of, and thus I would have to just meditate forever. I think meditation is a super powerful tool, and people have used it for many different reasons, and it serves many different purposes, and there are tons of different types of practices, and I think they're amazing, and I think they're so powerful. And the way that I was using mine, I feel like wasn't productive. It wasn't serving me at the highest level. I know some schools of thought when it comes to meditation it's all about detachment, right? And it's all about letting go. But there were things that I didn't need to detach from or to let go from. I needed to address them, and I needed to confront them, and I needed to deal with them. And I wasn't doing that because I was using the meditation to mask the issue. And funny enough, I ended up picking up my meditation practice again recently, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. But there are so many different practices, and if you practice meditation, I would love to know in the comments, what type of meditation do you do, and what purpose does it serve in your life? How does it help you, or why do you do it, I suppose, is I would love to know. I would also like to know if there are different types of meditation that you want to try. Let me know in the comments as well. And what I discovered after I let go of my practice was there was some things that were making me feel the way that I was feeling. Number one was environmental. There was something going on in my environment that was creating that stress. And number two was internal and emotional. There were some things and some issues that I needed to resolve so that I could actually move forward with my life and be complete. And since dealing with those two things, the environmental thing and the emotional thing, and the third thing that I learned is once I mastered my sleep, the stress kind of melted away. Those three things, when I reset my circadian rhythm and I got on a good flow and my hormones balanced and my blood sugar stabilized, I started to feel a lot better, and I wasn't as susceptible to stress anymore. And so what I realized is these things really needed to be addressed. And because I was using the meditation as a crutch to manage the stress, it was a great stepping stone that brought me awareness that this is where my attention should go. So in a roundabout way, it actually served its purpose in that way where, the silence was created, the clutter was cleared out to create the emptiness for me to actually feel, to see, and to understand that, oh, my attention needs to go onto these things. In that way, it kind of gave me exactly what I needed, which is funny. And the reason why I picked up my practice again is because I now want to use it for something else. I want to train my focus muscle. As we become more integrated with technology and we are more glued to our devices, I have noticed that my ability to focus, my ability to keep my attention span has started to dwindle. It has started to fade. I know that that is a muscle that if we do not train it, then we will lose it. And I'm very conscious of how bad my focus has become. And so the reason why I picked up my practice again actually is to really develop that. I really want to be able to focus for a very long period of time. And now I'm using my meditation practice to train that muscle. Is that the right purpose? Is that the reason why one should meditate? Maybe, maybe not. It's working for me, and I think whatever your practice is for you, I know it's serving an amazing purpose. And when it comes to stress, I believe that meditation is an extremely powerful tool. And sometimes we also have to look underneath and say, hey, what is causing this stress? Why is this stress here? And is there something deeper that needs to be addressed? I still love meditation, and I see it as an insanely valuable tool to help grow your spiritual health. And if more people meditated, the world would be a much better place. And if you like this video, then you're definitely gonna like this one or this one. And if you like this type of content, health, wellness, biohacking, lifestyle, sleep optimization, lowering stress, all that fun stuff, then consider subscribing. Hit that little bell notification, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.